Well, giving birth is normally one of the happiest times in a family's life, but for one American Falls family, things got pretty scary after mom began to feel very tired. KPVI News that works for you journalist Cesar Cornejo has more on the rare condition she learned she had.
So I'm sitting there and I get a call from De La Rosa. The substance of the call was your wife is dying and she needs this life-saving surgery to save her. And again, everything's like exponentially getting worse in my life through all of that. So my whole world came crashing down at that moment.
Brandon Clausen remembers the day he thought he was going to lose his wife, Bridget. Bridget Clausen had been experiencing chest pains recently, but thought nothing of them as she had just given birth a few months prior. Things only got worse before she was rushed to Portneuf Medical Center.
I was on the medication they'd given me to kind of keep me calm, and Friday it started happening again, but it was way worse. It was just excruciating pain. And thankfully my wonderful mother-in-law was here, so she kept the kids in the living room, and I went over to the garage door, and the ambulance came.
Originally, paramedics diagnosed her with a myocardial infarction, better known as a heart attack. Brandon remembers hearing those frightful words.
It felt like 30 minutes, maybe it wasn't, but they got the results of their EKG, and the head paramedic was like, your wife's having a heart attack. I was like, oh, well, that's different.
The rare heart condition Bridget was suffering from at the time is called spontaneous coronary artery dissection, or SCAD for short. Dr. Jacob De La Rosa, cardiothoracic surgeon for PMC, explains.
Spontaneous coronary artery dissection, also known as SCAD, is when the arteries in the heart tear spontaneously. And why does that happen? Well, we really don't know the reason why it happens, but we know there's certain indications when it does.
Certain things, as women under 50 having a heart attack after recently giving birth with no history of heart conditions. Once the diagnosis has been made, a test is given to confirm it.
Right away, that should alert you that the diagnosis is there. And then what confirms is an angiogram, and that's what she did. She went right to angiogram, and that's what basically we're told that we saw it, that her arteries were torn apart.
After Dr. De La Rosa performed the life-saving surgery on Bridget, she is expected to make a full recovery. Bridget says her kids are her biggest motivators while working through her recovery period.
Kids are the motivators and kids are the goal. I want to be able to pick up my babies again. Absolutely. That's the hardest part and like my biggest goal.
In American Falls, Cesar Cornejo, KPVI, news that works for you.
Now, Bridget has been out of surgery for 6 weeks now and is doing well. Dr. De La Rosa also wants to reiterate that women who are postpartum or any woman under the age of 50 with no history of heart disease who begins to suffer from chest pains should seek medical attention.